the one I've been waiting for?
Shut this shit up! Thanks. Today I decided to start a big challenge. I have to survive 100 days in Ark Survival Evolved, means basically I won't touch any grass. It's hardcore without any mod, and I have to kill all the guardians, including the Alpha Overseer. The plot is, if I fail, I will have to show up a forger of pickles in my ass. That's right, let's begin the quest on the prehistoric lands of Ark Survival Evolved. Of Ark Survival Evolved. Waking on the same spot as the first time I played this game. The blinding sun, the seagulls and the nostalgic arm scratching. At least the hardcore crime fits and benefits. Like this was the first and the last time we saw this mumbo jumbo scratching his arm. I already waited the animation to end at least a million times here some predator was biting my ass. This is my favorite spot of the island. So many memories. Let me show you my main character. Take a look at this steroid head. I guess I did a pretty good job in the character creation, making this handsome little boy. Those Popeye forearms are gonna get to work soon. The plan's first step is to get a flyer and claim our permanent base, but in the heart of the island. This must come with preparation. The grind started when I pressed the spawn button, but no worries, I knew what I signed for. To better my situation, I collected berries, mined some flint and stone, and cutted down trees. Better and bigger variety of tools come like this spear, a high-tech, well-designed spear made by Japan and German engineers for hunters. I mean, this one could be, but I just crafted it a second ago, and missed the big opportunity to hunt on this terra. I had to look after other food. This water cockroach is a delicious and flavorful food of the fresh spawned bulbs. They contain omega-3 fatty acids and have fair amount of meat and tons of chitin. Chitin is the hardest material to find in order to make a PT saddle. It takes time and good handwork to find the weak points of his shell, but the dedication and constant striking paid off. Thanks God I found 2 of them, so we have more than we need for now. The next item on the list is hide. A lot of hide to be correct. The bitches give home to our next prey, the Dilophosaur. They spit venom, but nothing can leave to 1 or 2 cold shot in the head. We harvested with X, this weight gives more hide. Oh motherfucker, I aggroed it and nearly finished my hardcore career, which I proceeded to do multiple times throughout the playthrough. It's good for my heartbeat and my blood pressure, I guess. I stumbled upon 2 more as walking down the sandy shores, one shot no scoping these noobs. I start to believe this mighty forearms will give some extra grip or something. It wouldn't feel right if our first aim isn't the dodo. Doing the left right combo never disappoints when it comes to putting them to sleep. After a few punches I knocked it out my Tyson style. There's another one. I hope she won't see me murdering its family while she's asleep. Our first aim. Dorothy the Dodo. Now we can play Dodo Ball. Hit! The narco barriers are come to the picture as we need Tranqueros. The good old narcotic can help with this problem and I made a bunch. That big Spinosaur is uncomfortably close. I had to move if I want to continue the challenge. Packed up everything that needed and headed to the closest node, gaining 5 more levels. Very nice. And here comes my second suicide attempt. I tried to cross this lagoon and then some piranhas decided to bite my cheeks, whacked me to the edge of dying. I swam ashore in one piece. My heart was beating so strong I could check it just by staying silent. And then I tickled the fish with arrows. That was a close one, those piranhas are savage. And this PT is just perfect, nearly level 100, it's beautiful. No further questions asked, I needed it. Pteranodons are great even in late game and on PvP servers. The barrel roll ability gives them a huge minion speed bonus. Their stamina and health are not enough high to fight predators, though smaller carnivores won't cause any problems. And they knock out quickly. And the taming doesn't take much time, though it's a perfect early game dino. And I did the deed, 1 bola immobilize, and no more than 2 shots and he's out. Just like me, neither I can stand after drinking 2 shots. I didn't let him wake up, and I put on a hide armor to lower the chance of getting killed within seconds. Second day before the sun came up, our PT teamed up. His name is Terry. With Terry we summed to the other island. This shot for the boys, if you know, you know. In the dark forest I collected up some notes and levels. We don't need a note run, but currently I'm unable to make a saddle for PT. After a friendly conversation with the Porosaur, I convinced it to give me his hide and meat. Even got some levels out of it. Too many things made out of leather in this game. It won't be enough, so the hunt continued. I killed prehistoric rats, gave some punches to the dillos, until I terminated enough creatures to make the saddle. Finally we can fly, and that means we can go to the next stage, making armor, new weapons and preparing to tame an RG. Before that would happen I stopped for a poo break cause you don't have much stamina, and did the next I nearly died cut off the challenge. It's the third within 1.5 days. I thought I will kill the jellyfish, but it sprang me. I ended up kicked out of the saddle and dropped into the deep waters. I literally shot myself. It's so fucking loud, but I get to land again. Alive. I took revenge by first killing it and then harvesting its precious biotoxins. Then picked up Doddy and then flew to the beginner here where we'll spend the next day. There's many crystal and metal, developing is pretty easy. I found the Iguanodon, they are very good berry collectors. Bolonok and that dame is the magic spell and we have infinite narcotics. I have to lead the setup here. This is the morning. I already crafted up everything for an RG trap, made Tranqueros and narcotics to tame, and I'm wearing full protection flak armor. Bye bye Iggy, thanks for your service. Let's go to the hills. I adore Argies, and very sad that this is one of the few dinos that can fly and rideable at the same time. They can carry vast amounts of resources and other animals. This one is a beautiful Argentavis, it's a great level 1 too. I usually find my best Argies here and didn't disappointed me this time. The previous trap is on spot and I lured the giant tiger right into it. Come on silly, cross the trap, 2 dolphins do it, yes. Now we can take it granted that we have an Argie. After firing a bunch of tranquilizers it sits out. It's stupid lazy to kill low level Argies with Terra. Easy primate. Eat this baby, primate is the key to an Argie's heart. It's tamed up nicely, nothing disturbed it in the meanwhile. I named her Jerry. Now with the Argie went to find tames like Dodicurus, Ankylo or Castoroids. I'm blessed, I got a really nice level 100 Dodicurus. It has a camo skin. They are so cool, this big spice and the tail. I carried her to safe place and began the taming process. This motherfucker tried to crash my head multiple times.
What are you so mad about, you little cocksucker? Quit that.
But at the end of the day, she's asleep. I had to pick berries by hand and nearly froze to death. 2 campfires needed to keep me warm, but I survived the night. Dude, beavers spawn so weirdly. They have a handful of spots and hard to get a good one. I managed to find a high one, we're gonna roll with this level 80. I dunked many arrows into it, so now we wait till he's not there. Because we don't have berries, it takes a lot. I carried up a par and tamed it the old school way. A level 4 will tame instantly. I'm still not too creative with naming Welcome XZD. She's a savage headbutting everything, blowing up the whole area with that forehead. Went out to find new tames, Anank is still missing from the collection, but when I checked the Castoroids, it's nearly woke up and I headed to fight him with narcotics, but it was too late. It's tame, thanks god, I thought I had to tranquilize it again. While exploring the isle I found not 1 but 2 Alpha Raptors, the first gave absolute shit. The later one was easy to kill and dropped a nice crossbow and axe, both needed and I was so happy about it. Then I hit the jackpot on the damn lottery. Look at this 348 cementing paste, I always got something like 200. I get to work, I decided to settle down on the cliff where the Castoroids were tamed. The big metal deposits are a big plus in the beginning. But this requires so much stone, Dodicurus was my right hand in that kind of stuff. You can break them with 1 whip and so cute when rolling. This is my Kickstarter base, currently I'm smelting Waldred metal for a beaver saddle and I can repair some stuff here. Dodicurus, you're my favorite Bakugan bow thingy. We're matching with this greyish armor and it shall also metallic. His little spiky tail, I won the IRL. I could probably start my own construction company, or rather deconstruction, but for sure I would never run out of stone. The grind began here and now, I had to cut thatch, more stone and probably a half rainforest. This was the first run from the many that followed, but they looked like this usually. We crafted foundations, walls, ceilings, gates and everything good that had to be done to finish this base soon. Basically that's what I did on the 8th day. It's not much but it was very hard connecting foundations on different heights. And on the middle of the next day I finished the foundation of the base. Building this much was tough, but here's the result. This is a really enormous platform. A lot of things have to fit on it. Like greenhouses, crafting stations and some dinos will also cheer here. I might consider building a 2nd floor by the time we start breeding. The lower level is pretty unusable. If I have enough time I will build it in, but probably I can tame or keep smaller dinos here. The still missing dino is something that can mine metal, and donkeys are the perfect solution for this. I found a low level 1 on the way home and changed it to a pink because it was higher level, but still not worth to mention. And we will tame the listro that Jerry is holding in its beak. Like a good host I knocked him out in the basement and dragged him to not wake up. In the meanwhile, I tamed the listro. He can provide XP bonus to the surrounding dinos, I just had to pet him to apply the buff. And soon we need fertilizer, so I also got a Phiomia, tranquilize him utilizing the basement and blocking its way with Jerry. Guess where I am? Yes, in the floor. If you're wondering how I got here. And keys tamed, we're going to a metal run soon, but first I start to tame some Brontos. They can farm thatch and berries easily, and their eggs are used in kibbles. And the second one is out as well. We get to the hill at midnight. This is a real beast. Every metal and crystal got picked. The forges were full. I could start developing the place, but I couldn't stand the urge to tame the otter I saw on the way home. I dived into the river for fresh fish and befriended this little squirrel. They give us a fortitude for temperature if you wear them like this. This little guy was waiting for us to give some polymer that I used for our first cryopods with the remaining crystals. Aren't you curious why I tame Phil? He isn't the most powerful, nor the smartest, but he has a special talent that fit, he could even win in X Factor. Let me show you what I have done in the last days. I didn't finish yet, but now the base is looking somewhat acceptable. The basement is still not covered, but the first floor is in a good shape, the crafting area is separated and roof stands on the top. Most part of the house is going to be used as a breeding area, but here is the part for us. We have a Dimetrodon, they work as an air conditioner both for us and for the eggs, but we're gonna need more. It looks like a bulldog with that cute little happy face. And finally we have a greenhouse. I solved the irrigation by laying pipes all the way up from the river to here, we don't have to go down for water again. And the plants can grow forever. I planted 2 from every kind, rucarot, longgrass, potato and citron. They're not only a great food, but we can craft kibbles, magical recipes and brews out of them. The view is also amazing, I'm very happy that we chose to settle down here. Oh motherfucker! I like when pullovers and carcass eat my ass and knock me out of the saddle from nothing. Thanks to my flex set I survived again. Finally a good BP, I needed better armor, this will do it. I accidentally tranquilized a bear and their favorite food is honey. So I stole some fast before they kicked me down from my Argy's back. They great at farming polymers, they said, but I don't think that's true when it comes to gather it from penguin corpses. Tamed up and I named her Teddy. We're slowly going into the industrial era, that means we need more and endless resources. Like oil, polymer in waste amounts, here comes Teddy in the picture, other than inventive bees, she will be my partner in the poly heist. Look at this cute face. I'm grabbing some silica pearl to increase the production of electronics. Now I can put down my first fabricator, and that moment I realized I had to go back and farm more from the previously listed resources. The Northern Isles are full of oil, and donkeys are the best oil farmers. Here I can pack the RG with premium poly as well. I stumbled upon this big ass fish. I already afraid to go into the sea caves in Subnautica. If I have to fight something like this, it wouldn't be great to fall into the sea right now. Since the game's all about farming our ass off, I found a really great red rope, because we don't need air conditioner blueprint. And I continued with gathering metal, stealing all the beaver's great stocks, all of this to be able to make an industrial forge, since now we have access to infinite metal and charcoal. But that wasn't enough, so I went to gather more electronics while searching for boss fighter Terrys, but I didn't find any. The camp veg is standing making available the infinite gunpowder and narcotics, and that shit needs a generator of course. Okay, I jumped on my RG to get more of everything. That's getting boring, but I had to get extra metal, more of those precious pearls while gazing each other with megalodons, and of course pushing the penguin population to the edge of extinction so I can build my kitchen. It's next to the greenhouse, the grill can cook great amount of meat, and the refrigerator obviously just keeps the food fresh. The next equipment is the industrial cooker, which requires more cementing paste. What could I do without these beaver dams? Now we have every tool to make those legendary kibbles. The recipe contains one extra large egg, and that's why we keep a big Bronto harem. The fresh eggs are the supreme ingredient of the superior kibble. I searched for Terrys as well, but didn't find a good one, at least I nearly died again. Run. The next day I went out to tame everything that's missing from the list of mass dinos. Megathyriums are well known of their bug buff, which increases their damage after killing an insect. The swamp cave is very hard without these guys. But there are places the Megathyrium can't fit, so I have to use something smaller like a direwolf. They don't need saddle, which makes them vulnerable against attacks, but their damage and mobility makes up for this flaw. And the add-ons, I found decent ones. I didn't know at the time why I hadn't found anything really high level, but I tamed 2 of them. They tame really quick, because their ability makes them hungry. These aggressive Pumbas are one of the greatest support animals. They can heal the dinos around them in exchange for food. It's like a mana for them. They provide health for it, so their main stat is actually food. In wild I really hate them. They're hard to kill and doesn't drop anything interesting other than meat and hide. I was searching for Terrys for a couple of days, but I didn't even find anything above level 100. I always kill everything near their spawn points, but still nothing. So I decided to become Ratatouille and cook some shit. First some chili, and from that kibble. This requires a bunch of eggs, rare flowers, citron and berries. Because I had enough, I searched at her and didn't get any good level animal. I thought it was bad luck. The highest found is 120, but it's supposed to be 150. And that's because right now the levels of force multiplications, but it's supposed to be 5. Instead of 30 times 4, which is 120, it should be max level of 30 times 5, which is 150. Because the max difficulty should be override in the server settings, little txt in the game save folder. Yeah, and also the already spawned dinos won't change, so you should use the deserved dinos to achieve the desired settings. The first animal I found is a Phiomia, and it's level 35, so I guess it's worth, but hurts my heart that I wasted hours of my life searching for impossible levels. Since this little mistake is corrected, I geared up my taming equipment and kibble, and I went for a big expedition hunting after Terrys. I'm already flying for hours and nothing but a level 100 Terry, but I won't accept that, I need a beast. In the sunset I found my love, a high level Terryzino. I built a comfortable cage, trapped this beauty, and filled his ass with bullets. Then the kibble did the job, and now we have a tickle chicken. Then I went out now with this giant chicken and sliced up everything on the closest spawns. First with the reload damage, but as he progressed and got more levels, he could kill enormous dinos with only a couple of hits. I cooked more of the local specialty, Mexican chili and kibble, in hopes I will find further Freddy's. And to utilize the herbivore's greatest abilities, I went to the second most dangerous biome and set up a sap farm. That was the last ingredient. Now we produce everything that needed for veggie cakes. I was thinking, I could kill an alpha cardinal now that I have an OP damage dealer dino, and it turned out not only it couldn't hit me properly, but it died within seconds. I found some nice little things, but instead of a Terizino, I got a Rex, a level 140. It went to sleep fast and they don't need kibble, perfectly fine with Primate. That can be harvested easily from the swamp animals. And I increased my kill streak on Terizino spawn and did 0 success of finding good Teris. After I grabbed the snap out of the taps, I got the best idea. Now that I have a good Rex and a good Teri, the only deciding factor of which one will lead us to victory, whether I find good saddles or not. Saddles are very OP. They can decrease the incoming damage till most attacks become unimportantly small. And saddles can be dropped from cave loot crates. That's why I came to the closest cave. We can't fly and unfortunately kicks to the saddle after a certain distance, but that's why I tamed the giant sloth and wolf. Oh my god, there's a bunch of them. I got Magarib, it's fucking bad. This bad virus is even in game. If you don't eat them, they bite you. The artifact room is a fairly small cave and way easier than I remembered. Oh, we got a loot crate. It's not worth it. Way out, I tamed with the beetle. We got enough kitten to make a bunch of 17 paste, but the main thing is, we got out in one piece. The upcoming days were full of work and surprises. I found the highest level Tari while I was on a mission to find Black Purse. This map is probably the hardest, as every resource is very rare and positioned far from each other. Like Black Purse, they don't spawn like on other maps. You either have to kill sea creatures or find other ways to get them. I flew to our starter base where I picked up some that I left behind at the beginning and picked up Doddy to bring back home. But we're still missing Black Purse to make gas masks, so with my little otter we went fishing. This is the kind of minigame that I like, where you have to do something otherwise never. Using otter for fishing. It's not worth it, but right now this is the most beneficial way to get Black Purse. It's not guaranteed that every time it kills a fish we bring back a Black Pearl, but a silica for sure. And there's the animation it does when you don't disturb it. So cute. You can put a helmet on it as well. Though we had enough Black Purse, I kept fishing and my otter got killed by piranhas. So I took revenge and killed them, and tamed otters with their meat. I didn't forget about Terry and came back to make a big fighter from it. Knocked out as usual. This music creeps me out. It had a great health and after taming even better. I realized it only can be crafted in a campbench, so I needed twice as much Black Purse. After more fishing and 4 Black Purse we can craft absorbent and make masks. In the sunset I flew straight to the swamp cave when Shooter Game decided to prank me again. After the crash, it drove me back to a save. This incident won't stop me from exploring the swamp cave. Here's the entrance. I will close this with a gate. Oh god, I'm dying. I can't throw the Megatarium out. I backed up to a wider area to use the pod. Just in time, I'm nearly dead. 400 HP is not much. I got some shit from crates and even legendary loots like Barrister and C4. And a shotgun. Unfortunately not auto, that would be cool. Okay, I chose a little vent to go through, even the wolf couldn't fit in, so I crowded it in there. But the crack hit and my wolf was certainly dead. I paused the game as this was the last sex before I die as well. I was running as fast as I could, but a wave grabbed me and didn't let me run. But I wouldn't be able to tell the story if I died here. I threw out the Megatherium, though it got cryo sickness, it were able to run enough time for us to escape on the cleared path and get out. But this kid nearly ended the run on the 36th day. I continued taming. First a new Teri that spawned near base, that will be tamed certainly. Unfortunately it's not enough high level to have reuse. While searching for new Megatherium I found this cookie boy. It was a nightmare luring it into the trap. The fear sucks when it's a wild one. My RG always flew towards the ocean. Finally! It took me too much arrow to be out. Nice! It has a bunch of health, already more than the Teris or the Rex's post-tame health. And I didn't stop here. I tamed the Harpig, and the Megatherium, and the Sabertooth comes handy as well. One day before the 40th, I went for the big cave expedition again. I killed every bug and found a real vent where I didn't have to fight anything, but I kept the shotgun in hand just for sure and watched the ceiling mace and Maglania hiding up here. I went through the wall cave again, just now came out with the artifact. My next destination is the lower south cave. This is a really pretty cave with less dangers than in any other. There spawns the artifact of the hunter, needed to summon the brood medal districts. I dragged myself to the cave. Instead I needed my Teri's help. I pulled him out and went on cleaning the cave, because the spitting cockroaches broke my armor. But finally I got to the artifact room and took it home. You spin my head right round when you go down. In the evening I tamed the Baryonyx and named it Brr. The day after I farmed some metal because the constant armor repairing slowly devoured my supplies. Following the plan of collecting artifacts, a new cave is ready to be explored. There's only which I really hate. They can contaminate you with mega rabies, that indeed deadly, but I prepare my ass and I always keep healing on me. The cave have a lot of flooded area or underwater tunnels, and sharp-teethed enemies lurking in the water. That's why I tamed the body that can heal fast and kill multiple enemies at once with its zero. Thanks to the OP saddle they barely do any damage. On the other side we only have to climb that wall, and this narrow tunnel leads us to the artifact room. Going to the last relatively easy cave. This one is very cool. It contains lava ponds and lava falls. The Sabertooth will be a clutch, they can jump over pads, and Megateri is always a good choice if there's insects. I run through holes, pits and past lava flows, and always fighting something to not get surprised from the back. There's the artifact, just some big jumps. I had to warm up. If I fall in the pit, I'm definitely deep fried. One more. Okay. And we got the artifact of the massive. I hope I'm not messing it after the cave. I have grapplers, but it's just some last cutting, some more gems and I'm out. I had to rush through because I forgot to bring water to the warmest cave in Ark. I flew home and started a bigger project, first farming for ceilings, because we're gonna have a second floor. That required hell of a farming and that's how it looks finished. This will be the breeding area, one of the breeding area because I want one down as well, next to the Brontos. I let the terrace sexy time, we got eggs. Hello little ones. Unfortunately one of them is a male with bad stats. He had to go. It felt really bad but that's life. Oh, hey Uti. The next day I choose to bring some trouble to the salty waters and sandy beaches. To tame Max with that pretty brrr. Come at me, I dare you. After some shots she was out. While it was taming I also tamed a little turtle. Later maybe we'll be able to get a squid. But I don't see inflict blood damage. That's really big. We will need more of them. And I also breeded more terrace, bigger anything area and plan. And this will be a daily thing from now. 47th day. I killed a Bronto for its prime meat. The blood damage makes it extremely easy. The meat needed to make this Basilo my new friend and company on further adventures. They usually accompanied my mantas but I killed them. I lured the sharks away as they kept on growing on me, and I finished taming the Buzzy, nearly dying as I stepped off the saddle. Of course more and more little birds are on the way, and we're getting closer to making the best fighter those bosses have ever seen. The aquatic army required more female megalodons, so I tamed some. Every end of the day I kept my good habit and helped chicks to the world. One of them came out ready to jump someone. Next day was the usual taming more megalodons. I let Sharky kill off another wild megalodon, but after I jumped back to the water to hop on her, she ran off and I didn't even realize. After searching it for 10 minutes, until I found her near the Carnival Island's shallow waters, chilling by itself. And because we already have 4 females, I tamed a male megalodon to complete the squad. Day 50, the middle of the challenge. We're getting closer to find out will I make the cut. Still missing some basic requirements. Artifacts, blueprints, mutated dinos, foods and resources. The day hadn't even begun but they are sexing again. I had to kill the boys with bad stats. And the max started the naughty as well. We got twins and the black shark from it, the others probably spawned under the map or out of the water because I didn't find them. I organized my Terrizinones, now the daisies and the eggs are easier to reach. And soon we're gonna get crazy mutations. It's maybe not the best form to mate them, it's like a Easter egg and trying to get them with crawling between their legs. I hope they shit on me. The sharks like to activate themselves, I want to explore the underwater caves and I can't do that without my Nemo army. I tamed one more mech just for fun and came here to teach you. They absolutely overpopulated this little pod. Time to take them to the ocean. We will have to wait till they wake up. I had some more eggs, unclaimed I used the swans and got rid of them by their own relatives. Until I found the first hat mutation with some pink coloring on her side. And another female, with the same mutations but other coloring. Most of the babies doesn't born with mutation or it's on the wrong stat. And now I have overproduced from primate. But there's always miracles like this little boy with a melee mutation and beautiful brown fur. I had to learn the Ingram of the bed because though we won't be able to respawn but we can teleport to beds, so we use this in underwater caves. I feel more safe now that I have 10 megalodons behind me guarding my ass. They're doing a great job, 10 out of 10 security. But I feel like taking back 2 stars because sometimes they just decide to swim away, and I don't know why, but this happens too often, especially while fighting. That's my shark, at least now it came back, but this isn't the first time. Just arrived to the caverns of Lost Hope. The second I ordered them to attack a wild mag, they flee. At least the voice of the cave stops them. It took some time to take back control over them, now we can fight side by side. I wanted to check their inventory and health, but I spotted this biggest line of fish. They came for the smoke and we killed all of them. Then more enemies showed up and 3 high-level mosasaur, all ready to finish this expedition. They failed miserably, but for what cost? Half my fish is dead and the remaining are wounded and weak. The great news, we hadn't encountered any alpha creatures so far, but inside the caves there's no loot boxes, neither the artifact. I'm sure I missed some rat hole. That means more of my remaining tames might die during future fights, but I won't go home empty-handed. And I was right, I did forget to check every corner and missed the hole on the bottom. And this note as well. I got to the artifact room but couldn't take it. Elite megalodons don't let me. I had to force together my remaining forces, but they are attacked by jellyfishes and eels, they can't fight back. Next to the pedestal, one of my mag is fearlessly fighting with a Duncan and Alpha Shark. This hole is full of dangers. My crew slaughtered, their corpses are everywhere. My last resort, jumping out of the safety of this saddle and risking my life for this little treat. My heart couldn't beat faster than this, but the artifact is mine. Leaving the cave shouldn't cause further complications. Brute force caves are usually remains empty, as long as you don't leave them. Just don't get body blocked, from here the way is free. After a long travel, I thought that I have too much FPS. What would happen if I hatched more than 60 Terry Xenos at once? It definitely did something. Playing on 20 FPS is such a vibe, guys you should try it out sometimes. Now I appreciate more when I can actually see. I finally cleared the base and made this statue accidentally. This looks like something from the forest. Is this an Easter egg? I can't take it or harvest it, I guess you can stay. The next expedition is after the artifact of the brute. We killed an alpha max, so one thing is done from the list of trophies. I just arrived but already fighting with alpha and insanely high level megalodons. Though we lost a meg, that was easy. Then I saw a levitating shark on the land. You know, if you see a creature stuck somewhere you have to kill it. It's like a unwritten rule. I looked behind, there was something suspicious. And I saw it, an alpha mosasaur. I moved on fast to the other room where I saw another. Thanks God they stuck in the walls. In the artifact room I realized how much I like this game. And after sacrificing my sharkies, the artifact was mine. As a good tourist, I made some stupid footage. About a level 3 and D3 lobbit, there was many. Found a great note about the Tusatutis. The notes in these caves actually make sense. Here I hadn't found any land creature, but I found about water life in caves. And just what I needed, new boots. Now I can throw away these rusty ones. There was no enemy like scorpions or bats. This is a great cave to make great roots. The Mossa in the wall is level 300, that means by the help of the ARK wiki, quick math, I don't know how I did it, but it has 429,840 HP. Gamma bosses have less health than that. If I calculated it well, I won't fight that one for sure. I built a little house so I can come back here faster. I actually found crates not like in the other sea cave and doesn't have any land enemy. I had to go but bird stays here and thus is bird things. Way back I fought on alpha leeches, but I didn't know the max weight is full and they won't pick out the trophy, so we had to search another. Neither this drop had me closer to the goal of finding good saddle, but these BPs are the worst. Who even use these? At least the beds are working in the cave. I hope I won't die to some stupid bug like bagging into the mesh or getting grabbed by a Stuso. Did he just forget to scratch his arm or only does it when we respawn? Never mind, I searched the cave, made some drops or respawned. In the waters and in the corners of every vent. But luck wasn't on my side. Then collected some freshly laid eggs, containing a bunch of chicks with pretty colors, neither got the mutations I was looking for. To bring some light into the boring of hatching, I decided to grab one of the last artifacts, the one found under a carnivore's island. Megatherms are great at exploring most caves, and this one is no exception. A big pot found in the entrance separating the cave from the world. After a little swimming, jumped out the water and slashed a group of onyx and spiders. I thought this is a hard cave, but the levels of the killed animals shows I was wrong. The biggest obstacles are these fractures in the path, which are just small enough to run over them. There it is, the artifact of the Devourer. We can't see it, but its aura is visible even from this far. It was pretty easy to get here. The Megatherium was obviously the way to go. Just kill the scorpion with over 2000 damage. I thought it won't fit into the cave or had to squeeze it through somewhere. I hope no Megalania will jump on us while I'm not in the saddle. I have 2 more artifacts and basically all the bosses are available. I even got some fancy cloth armor and a super high-tech wooden bow. I'm so blessed. The remaining time of the day spent searching for tames and hunting UTs. Day 64. I grabbed my AK I was so proud of, geared up my flak and went down to find that this is a piece of shit. The ammo is expensive and the damage is awful, 60 per bullet. Just a reminder that I'm still hatching every day and with my luck this is gonna take a long time till I find any good babies. To kill the bosses the good breed line isn't enough. We need honey which we can get from bee hives with the help of our bear. Stimulants also in the recipe and fiber for some reason. But after collecting the perfect ingredients, we made veggie cakes. I also found a good UT, max level. Even though it's a male I started to knock it out, rolling through the greenlands and to the beach. Until I heard a not too loud but terrifying noise. A Microraptor was on its way to hunt me. It's my kryptonite. Everywhere I go they find me and I can't sit calmly in the saddle. This time I've won, but there are still plenty in the ride. The taming had a happy ending. Finally knocked him out and tamed with slightly better stump than the one at home. This was a lucky day. I also hatched a health mutation Terry. I visited the penguins with friendly intentions, settled an offer, they give pollen and I can make some rockets. I'm such a businessman. And I had to make more gunpowder. Legendary rockets require, but turrets also consume bullets. Why would I cut turrets in PvE? Because underwater alphas are too strong compared to our underwater tames, so I will use turrets against them. It's not cheap, but probably faster and less risky than getting stronger tames. Bullets are made from multiple different resources. Core by burning wood, spark powder comes from grinding stone and flint together, and metal also needed, but I already farmed a bunch. Even grinding my ass off, I always make time to collect eggs and breed, especially at night. And it's paid off, because there's the third head mutation. He looks pretty cool as well, right? Oh yes, this is one of the lucky days. At the end I got a pretty shotgun. I have seen better, but I hadn't got any. The flag BP, don't even talk about it. And I wasn't stressed to craft some ammo, a bunch of the specific kind used by AKs and auto turrets, and stack some more shortcore for later use. The ARK got real bad with some great loot, none other than a Deodon saddle blueprint. A really good one, 70 armor on the journeyman is great. My second biggest nightmare after dying became real. I just fell down from my base without any flyer. At least my trusty tickle chicken is here to help. The big plan is to make a giant stairs to heaven and glide back to my base. It worked perfectly. First I thought we won't get there, but as we fought the wind below us landing between the terraces. The same day I also got a little baby with 8000 health, that's pretty dope, and that colors also. This is my favorite one. And another with a mutation into melee. The game often makes fun of me, but this drop isn't too bad. The tool stutter is good, but the AC unit blueprint, that must be some endgame shit. I hope I won't miskick and drop it. Never mind. Venturing in the snow biome were really good, but finding an alpha T-Rex, owner of one of the hardest to get trophies. I also found a trapped Deutyrannus, and this is what I was searching for. A female Deutyrannus to mate and breed with the stronger ones at home. It tamed. I was worried it made ram, but fortunately knocked the track about the water. I bring it back home and let them reproduce. And hatch the first Deutyrannus. Look at this cutie. That little mount. I found the great oak of Ark. The grind never stops. New bullets are on the way to support the project and catch some alphas. Our Dead Online is shit, so that will change. They gave birth to some pretty piggies, but they had terrible stats. Unfortunately, they didn't survive the night, and I won't stop until they don't make a good one. The smith is slowly running out of space, so I used some material to make pressure shotgun ammos. We're short on metal and this must be changed. I farmed some more, kills all the ammo, and repairing armor burnt up my supplies. The duties are fucking savage. I just started to breed them and I got a melee mutation, which I bred more, and finally there's the fruit of my work. Hey cutie, what's your name? You look like Eduardo to me. Eduardo must be hungry. Does he like prime meat? Sometimes I imprinted Eduardo until it was 100%. Now it has more health, damage, and got combat bonuses where I ride him. Arch just kept mocking me. I got a Mastercard Stego blueprint, which is a priceless item on PvP servers, but for us it's literally useless. They are also useful helpers of boss arenas. It's a female, but I still don't give a fuck, I call her Pumba, and imprinted up to max. They ended with leveling up Eduardo. Then, to have a chance to defeat bosses on alpha difficulty, I had to come down to the cave and bring with myself a wolf up and enough ammo to kill an alpha mossa. The auto turret didn't reach the mosasaur most of the time, but helped in clearing the water, and I felt safer behind it and started blasting the bastard. Sometimes it swung closer, hoping it will get a bite from the test, but the only thing that got was even more dead. And in those times when it was out of reach, I used shotgun until I bring out the big guns. The AR is one of, if not the highest DPS weapon in the game, though it's maybe the only time it was useful. And I happened to have a bunch of ammo to it. After it seemed to be very bloody, I hopped on the muzzle and finished the job. It was a ferocious creature and a great fight, rest in peace. Before going up, I packed up the more useful BPs and items. Next to a cave entrance was an alpha lead switch, which I also killed because this was missing from my trophy collection. After all, if I'm in the water, why would I collect all the underwater shit, starting with killing this puzzle and fancying its bubble? And I went back to the snow biome's icy water to face my biggest fear, the alpha Tuso. There was no player and I had to kill it a traditional way, but maybe the Megalodon's bleed ability works better. The only thing I forgot, the Tuso can grab my Sharky. And this happened. The second it died, that was easy prey. Thanks God I have my scuba first, otherwise I would be dead. This game gives me so much stress, it's not even a horror game, but I'm panicking like crazy. I didn't give up and found a way to not get hit while biting it. The slow turning of the Tuso make it possible to go around it and play catch, not being worried about losing health. The end was hard cause it started to flee, but it died after the countless attempts to catch up to it. The body contained a lot of burrs, absorbent, tentacles, a fishing rod and its precious eye. This is how big it was. The only remaining thing is to get more Basilo blubber, which using my Basilo was easy, just had to find them. Which alpha creature trophy will be the next? It's not underwater, but I lured the alpha Rex in there. After tickling its feet, finally gave up. To be honest, this must be the easiest way to kill one. Oh my, we're really close now. The next step is to clear the remaining 2 caves in the snow biome. The first is a small claustrophobic one with normal level creatures, but the challenge is I can't use stems in there. This was really hard. As I stepped into the cave, half of my armor got shattered. I'm really stupid. I thought what a good idea getting into the artifact room with Kepler's. I peeked in healing spiders and shot some bats. I pressed the W so hard they couldn't push me into the fractures. Then I killed the remaining bats and spiders, grabbed the artifact and flew out the way I came in. The next cave will be harder, I thought. So I collected tinto berries, made a bunch of health potions, and to heal Teresinos I collected honey all over the island and cooked fancy veggie cakes. Before returning to the tundras, I got a brand new compound bow. I don't know, does it has a reuse in PvE? Then I headed to the cave. Throw a tickle chicken after the crouch part and started the party. It maybe won't be the best considering I can't heal, so the later parts will be explored with Eduardo's help. I can stand on him and shoot from there, and also in case a puller will knock off, I won't be in danger in his back. The cave had parts blocked by crystals, but Bazooka can help with that. It's raw nerfed enemies, making them vulnerable to my bites. Also weakens the hiding pullovias from their underground nests. Look at those guys. They thought I wouldn't see them, but I got them lacking. Slowly but surely I got to the artifact room, clearing the whole cave. And the last artifact also collected, making it possible to summon every boss and hopefully defeating the Overseer. This cave contains some loot crate, which didn't drop a single useful thing but a Mastercraft wooden bow, which well known to be the biggest enemy of the Overseer or the giant monkey. A blue drop in the river give another stack boss saddle. I think I should have started on PvP with this luck. 10 artifact is here, but maybe I should get the trophies as well. And not even a day passed since I got out the snow cave, I found a saddle to the UT. A pretty good one. Happy I don't have to collect all of those silica pearls, just a Terizino saddle blueprint missing and I'm done here. I hope I will get that. I went to the Redwoods to get Tyler clothes. Do you guys know what's wrong on this peak? I was literally staring at the Tyler Colo and didn't notice. I got punished for it. Holy, if it was level 140 or more, I could have died. This little guy also tried its luck with no success. After reuniting with Jerry, I collected the last pair of clothes and got some more honey. The boss fight is on our back and we don't even have a saddle for it, so the veggie cakes are necessary, and even then, maybe it will be done on beta and not alpha. I wasn't dressed to cook the cakes, and I found a shield which is probably not that useful. If I need it, I'm already dead. I never really had to go for a meat run, but this time has come and I killed everything. Didn't hesitate to go for a killing spree. I didn't imagine this buff Tyrannus will make it this smooth, and it was actually fun to explore the map on a land dino. The actual cause for this little journey to feed the Deodon. She's always hungry, and for the upcoming boss fight she must be full to enjoy its healing services. Oh you I found this level 95 Giganotosaurus and I'm gonna take its heart, in the literal way. I led it to the beach and trapped it, then finished it off. Once I'm in the cold biome, I visited my much beloved penguins and filled Archie with fresh poly. Still needed more vegetable cake, which is a big problem of mine, cause a primitive saddle won't bear the boss's damage. I slowly stocked up some, keeping them for the Alpha Dragon. Another piece of the Ultimate Armor collection found us its treasure hunt. Another shade! Next to an extremely useful Gallimimus saddle! I went caving just to collect 2 more Magalania toxin, and I actually found 3 at once. It's now clear, the only missing thing is another Giganotosaurus heart. Of course I will show you how I collected honey for the 69th time. And this is the current number, 171 pieces of cake, the dragon must prepare. I hadn't found any mutation in a while, so the final Fartas breeding shall begin. The Terries are still laying eggs upstairs, later it will be a great XP farm. This is the first spread of the best. He didn't make the cut. Okay, we got a mutation. This little chick got a melee. Just as I started to raise the final army, the Argos decided to give me a present. They felt bad after not giving me a single Terizino saddle blueprint. I really appreciated it and give her constant attention. Again, I thought I can bring it down slowly, but it bite my ass instead. You won't bite me again. Haha, you trapped. He became bloodier and bloodier after it was over. I killed it because they spawned at the same spot as the Giga, but I didn't know it will give me a heart as well. It saved some time. Take a look at this giant animal. It all came together, no more trophy or artifact needed, I could just head straight to the boss fights. The final steps come. I'm very excited and anxious at the same time. Some more gambling with the crates paid off. A better shotgun, pre-crafted. I can't get enough from the animation of these babies when they get imprinted. Look at those clothes. This will be my main job for the next days, collecting warriors for the battle. The saddle's still not free, so I went out to get some metal between hatching. I collected vast amounts of raw materials and put them into the indie forge to refine. At sunset I made cryopods for the easier transportation of the new Terries. The guy went on with finding a great leggings blueprint, then hatching and raising up these little feathery boas. They needed to be fed and sometimes imprinted. If they ask for something impossible, reordering the request with cryoing. And I also got a flak helmet. I took really serious the caving in hopes of finding a Terizino saddle blueprint in the remaining time. When all of them grew up, the second stage came where I have to level all them up. The strategy was using Callistosaurus for the 1.35 times EXP boost. Then killing the just hatched baby dinos with Terries. Tyrannosaurus gave the most XP, but the Terizino is also very good for that. Some of them got extra XP by picking up nearby nodes. But on average I leveled up HP to 20 or 21,000 because of the veggie cake maximalization. Melee damage usually got to 1500. The day was full farming level ups, but I managed to find a new shotgun with 220 damage. I'd made buffing foods like steak which minimize recoil, or killing a suit to bear the heat in the boss arena full of lava. But our main power is still the extremely OP Terizinos, which need their cake. Oh, not to forget this new BP, I already did new flag boots to a complete set. I found many loot, some good but always trash. Anyway, I came down to the cave to transfer all the treasure out. Sadly still no Terizino saddle, but I can craft a full armor and good bows and shotguns. Cooked up some Mindwipe tonic, cracked it and distributed all the levels into crafting skill. I prepared a separated table for the crafting, all the flag pieces and the saddle. They came out pretty good. The saddle even got a godly 50% bonus. Now that I have everything, I cryoed up the Terries and the Deodon, packed some veggie cakes and hoped for the best. I was searching on the internet how much damage and HP needed to be able to win, and I realized there's a setting on single player mode, which was turned on. It makes the game easier for solo survivors, but I ain't no pussy, I turned it off the second I realized it. That makes most bosses absolutely impossible, but there is one that doesn't really changes, and that is one of the hardest bosses on any mode. The Alpha Dragon. Yes, you heard right. The Dragon. Its main fire attack percent is scared and can be reduced by armor. Every time arm with breath fire, it takes 20% of their target's max HP. That means having more health or armor doesn't really affect the core mechanism of the fight. After arriving, throw out all the terries, and as they woke up, heal the shit out of them multiple times. Now that they got less health, they must be healed all the way up. The big day. I had to leave my other friend out of the battle. I never had cold thanks to this little ratatouille. Everything's ready. I was happy with you guys through the highs and lows. May we never return, but always remember we did our best for what is right, for a better future, for your sons and daughters. We're on our way to defeat the dragon. I will lead you to victory. After arrival, instantly popped the shoes in my inventory. Struggling with shaking hand to hop on my UT, I lured the army to safe place and told the dragon it's time to calm down. She heard it. Go chicken! Box its head! The tactic was simple. Was the courage horizon, I healed them with the Deodon and pumped the lead at the same time. The Deodon can't heal anymore, so I back out. The dragon is dead. It was killed in a fair fight. No overpowered saddle or ultra bloodlines with extreme stats. Pure tactics and battle engineering. Can fit in this mouth. Can I see how much HP did he got? Shit, there's no ding dong. They're still chewing on something. Don't eat it! I had to raise some babies to rebuild the army, and they must be stronger, so I leveled them up. Oh wow, 2 more banner and we're ready to fight the overseer as well. I prepared again with more meat and cooked a new potion, chili curry, which gives hypothermal insulation and decreases food consumption. Then collected all my new boss fighters and headed straight to new challenges, defeating the Alpha Megapithecus. This is the easiest boss fight of all, but without any saddle it's gonna be really difficult. Before healing everyone to max I can't even go. The Alpha Megapithecus really waited 97 days, don't disappoint me. We have to kill it, otherwise it's gonna be a really sad title. Everyone's ready? I'm not, but take the buff and kill the boss. First go to the corner. I don't want any of you to fall down because that's literally the gayest that ever. Then that big ass King Kong must follow me. I don't think he will tolerate if I feed him with bullets. That was a good way to grab its attention. Please follow me. There you go. Already lost 5 of them. We don't need much to kill. Oh my god, that was close. They didn't even have time to heal from the cake. They only fought for like 2 minutes. That was a big fight. I can't hesitate. I must take actions to kill the third guardian of the island, the Broodmother. But once I'm here I collect some polymer needed for tech recipes. Those take more metal, crystal, and obsidian to make even more polymer, cause I couldn't get enough organic. All this to make only one tech replicator, which is fundamental to craft tech tier items. Before the giant spider, again, everyone must be healed. The Alpha Broodmother has nearly 2 times health of the Megapithecus and does more damage, which means new plan needed. The only thing that we can use in this short time span is the good old kangaroo tactics. The Procoptodon can bring us to places in the arena where the boss can't reach us but can be shot. In case the main army would fail, we still have a chance by shooting numerous times into its ass. Gave them their last courage roar to prepare them for their last fight. Teleporting? That's not good, I didn't position the kangaroo well. That's the smallest problem. We should jump to that mushroom but the terries are blocking. Why are you here so fast? Nice, that's a good jump. While I'm here, attack it please. Great, I'm stuck here for a while but at least they're attacking. Now I'm glad I'm up, I would have died down there along all my teams. Fast forward, it took me some time, it's a really tough guy. Alone but alive I teleported back to the obelisk with the Alpha Broodmother trophy in my pocket. All the flags are out, showing my hard work and immense knowledge about Ark. We also hit the desired 100 days, so I better hurry up, first placing down the tech replicator and making some gear from the remaining resources. The most important, the tech chest piece. We're gonna use it in the Overseer arena. And some more ammo. That sounds like shooting lasers. Took some flying lessons midway to the cave. This is what we got. I don't think I will use all my teams, the UT will be enough. In the arena I will fly anyway. Finally, we can open Mordor's mines. The cave full of hostile creatures, extreme high levels, giant health pool, devastating damage. I killed whatever was on the way, but first I always tried to scare them. That's only worse with small creatures, something like a T-Rex which probably has tens of thousands of health require a different approach. And that was leading them into the lava. My arch nemesis found me again. I can't even express how much hate I have towards young raptors. This time not even screaming into my ear. Imagine minding my own business and this motherfucker came out of nowhere. Thanks to the insane armor I didn't die, but that was a close call. I just found out I can sneak by the Arthros, there is nearly every enemy inside. This is probably the effect of the cactus rot, making me less detectable for wildlife. But the few Rexes that spotted me, I had to let them into the lava. I tried my best to get to the door of the final teleporter, which will get us up to the boss arena. Continued the snaking, but an allo had to notice me and instantly started to chase. Obviously I flee, because the cave sand was so close. Unfortunately the way was full of other allos, and I bumped into them. A Karkar and a Giganoto guarding the way down, here I got into a dead end. Either the allos will eat me or those giants. My hesitation decided for me. After getting an Allosaurus bleed effect, no other choice was possible than abandoning the ship and by sacrificing my trusty dino, parachuting into the abyss. I can see the finish line from here. If I reach that bluish gate, I won and got to finish the game as Dino's not supposed to get in there. I didn't count on the fact that I can't grapple. But no problems, they're probably busy eating my Uti's ass. Psych, he's dead and I'm next. It looks doable. Woohoo! We saved it. For the quarter of a second it seemed like we're safe. You're not supposed to get in there. Okay, grappling disabled here as well. I guess I'm dead. Fuck. I'm back guys, I added back everything. Everything is the same or similar because I did it by memory. If I remember well, I had a full tech gear. I added this thing instead of the AR. I think they look similar and it's not that OP I guess. And there's the Uti, the same saddle and stats. This time I won't fail. And not because I have more OP gear, it's because I'm more experienced. Yeah, that's definitely skill. Look, now I can kill Rexes in 2 bites. And I also got revenge on the Allos. We got to the final teleporter, this time actually getting into the other side. My plan was the same, going in and killing that tagger. Beautiful view waiting for us, giving deja vu. May I have seen this somewhere? The hallway made me feel claustrophobic, but it has the vibes. A giant alien infested spaceship. I saw these giant targets or something, a human or dino holograms inside them. And some of those Urklopes. Something is wrong with them, but I ain't that good at geography to tell. And one of my favorite thing about this is the actual model of the island under the bridge. Ha! The main room, aka boss arena. This is so chill, until you happen to walk into the giant hologram, then all hell breaks loose. The visuals disappear and small particles fly out of nowhere, the music just gets louder and the giant fireball forms, giving the soul of the overseer. Then thousands of metal scales come from behind, pillars growing from the ground, the doors close. And you realize, this was a trap. After finished forming, it makes a shield bubble and starts to spawn its minions. These are nothing like the enemies on the island, small robots flying and grounded ones. They only listen to the overseer and shoot anything in their sight. Just like me, I didn't mess to anything. It spawned into the dragon first, the machine gun was literally melting. Then I fought the gorilla, and lost his food there, until it was very low, and the final blockaded. All its minions gone, and I could escant like the big ones.
Happiness felt like love.
You again? Mom, where's the Glock?
This is more like pride.